We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live.
Scandal. Controversy. Mayhem. You won't believe what Shakur Stevenson had to say about his very last fight with WIlliam Zepeda. To me, I don't really get surprised, but I guess more so shocking that he admitted this on camera. Find out what Shakur said about the WIlliam Zepeda fight, and I will give you guys my thoughts. Let's get unpacked. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, Shakur has been in the ring one time this year against WIlliam Zepeda. Now, I got to talk about the haters real quick. The haters, like, I see it like you guys got to study the game. And if you don't study the game, you're missing out. So there's a lot of people that perpetuate certain narratives in boxing, a lot of low quality content in the world of boxing, right? And I notice like when there's a PBC fighter or a fighter that they don't like let's say, I don't know, Gervonta Davis, people will always come with these talking points like, oh, Tank only fights one time a year. This is ridiculous. But Tank is about to fight a second time this year, and Shakur Stevenson literally has fought one time a year, injured himself in that fight, his hands, and is out for the rest of the year. And they're talking about a Teofimo fight in 2026. So I need the record to show that because, again, when it's certain people like Jermell Charlo or Jamal Charlo, oftentimes it's PBC fighters. They talk about like, oh, why are these guys, PBC fighters only fight one time a year? But Terrence Crawford has fought one time a year since 2020, and he just beat Canelo. So I highly doubt he comes back for the remainder of this year. He already got a big bag, and he got the Canelo win. So he's probably out of here until 2026, and he may even retire. So again, in these unpacks, I like to go over everything and let the record show what it is. Now, Shakur did a brand new interview with Ring Champs, and he talked about a litany of things, but I want to focus on his last fight. And I want you to hear it from the horse's mouth so you guys don't say I ad-libbed or anything like that, and we'll get it cracking. But basically, he's being asked about why he fought WIlliam Zepeda, more aggressive, and hear from the horse's mouth. Roll the clip.
Particular fight, he said he didn't want to move and outbox Cotto, and he did that because the fans were saying he moves too much. Is that why you fought Zepeda like that?
Partly. It's two things, Certain time fighters expect you to do one thing, and sometimes you want to give a fighter the opposite of what they expect you to do. So for me, I try to do the unexpected. I try to make sure if you go out there expecting me to move and run around the ring, I want to give you the opposite. So it was a strategic game plan too.
Now, I understand that, from a fight perspective, I understand why a fighter would go against the grain. You think I'm going to run and I'm going to be right in front of you. However, I feel like Shakur is not telling the whole truth because he was literally pressured into that style of fight by his advisor. Why is nobody talking about this? Why am I the only one that keeps it real when it comes to this? Turki Al-Sheikh was like, no Tom and Jerry fights. I'm going to have a shrinking ring. I want an 18 by 18 ring or whatever he said. And He was like, I'm tired of these runners, and my company's not gonna be paying for runners and non-entertaining content, right? And then now Shakur is making it sound like he just made a strategic proposition and just decided that I want to fight how he fought. But if that's the case, again, I'm not even trying to throw shade. I'm just calling a spade, and that rhymes, right? If what you're saying is the case, he just said it was strategic on my part. I like to go against the grain and do the opposite of what people think I'm going to do. Then how come when you fought Edwin De Los Santos or Nakathila, this was well before Turkey came into your career, you didn't fight like that, right? So it's not really making sense to me. That don't really make sense to me. You could have easily, nobody would be complaining about your Thursday night ESPN fight with Top Rank before Turkey was in the fold or whatever, in the fray, if you fought Edwin De Los Santos like that. You did it. See, again, fighters, it's like, you ever see a video and somebody's on the subway talking crazy to somebody who's smaller than him, and then somebody bigger steps up and be like, hey, leave him alone. And then they don't want to talk crazy to the other person who challenges them, because people know who they can do what with. So I don't feel like that's being very transparent from Shakur, because people have complained about your style. And I'm not saying me, I'm just going off of public opinion. They said you ran and it was boring. And this dates back several fights. So you could have, in any of these fights, elected to do this. But it was this fight with Zepeda. You were pressured. You were pressured by the fans and Turkey mostly with the whole no Tom and Jerry stuff. He even had a hat, a ball cap with Tom and Jerry. And they were asking him about Tom and Jerry. So, yeah, he's making it, now that it's said and done, he's making it sound like, oh, yeah, me and my team worked on it, and this is what we wanted to do. So I call cap on that.
You have any pop at all?
You know, it's crazy. A lot of people say that he don't. But, if somebody hit you in the same spot 500,000 times over and over, I don't give a fuck who it is. It's like boom, 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 over and over. You're going to feel that spot. So he's one of them guys. He's going to constantly hit you over. And that's why his knockout percentage is a good knockout percentage.
Would you say you obviously barely ever get hit in a fight, but because you were in a pocket, you got hit more than you normally get hit.
Sure.
Right?
Yo, that's already something else I disagree with. He said if somebody hits you 500 times in the same spot, it's going to hurt. But if you're Prime Kovalev, Triple G, Deontay the Bronze Obama Wilder, Artur Beterbiev, Gervonta Davis, NOA, right? Nonito Donaire, these dudes aren't hitting you with 500 punches per round and they still knocking stuff down. So, again, the question was, does Zepeda have pop? And you're trying to make it like he has pop. But in your effort to suggest he has pop, you're kind of skirting around the issue, probably because you don't want to take credit away from it, because then that would take credit away from your victory. But I'm here to tell you, usually in boxing, big brute force punchers are not volume punchers. Look at Rigondeaux. Look at Wilder. Look at Kovalev. These aren't guys that are throwing, the guys that throw crazy amounts of punches have like Lomachenko. You don't have Amir Khan. These guys don't have crazy power per division. That's why they're throwing so many punches. Because again, Beterbiev don't have to throw a million punches. If he clock you with the right punch, you're in trouble, right? So Shakur's trying to make it like Zepeda is a big puncher. Now pay attention to what he says about the fighting style he chose for the Zepeda fight.
Look, you obviously barely ever get hit in a fight, but because you were in a pocket, you got hit more than you normally get hit, right? In that fight. Did your body feel different after the fight?
Hell yeah,
Like
I never left the ring feeling like that in none of my fights.
You still sore right now?
No,
Nah, I'm good, I'm good now.
but I'm saying usually the next couple of days you be sore as hell.
Oh, fuck the next days. When I walked out the ring, I felt like I was limping. I'm like, the hell going on? Like, I never felt like that. Like, truthfully, Zepeda, he was the style to where it's like a lot of people don't realize. They say, oh, well, he wasn't a puncher. He won't do this against this guy.
Right.
Them guys would be way easier than a guy throwing a million punches around, bro.
Non-stop.
This guy was a hard fight, like, truthfully.
I know you and Edgar.
Okay, again, let's talk about it. Real boxing talk, right? He said Zepeda was a hard fight. When he left the ring, he was like limping and he felt sore, and he's like felt sore presumably for days and weeks after the fight. And he was like, I ain't never felt like that after any of my fights. So once again, Boxing Ego shows you I am the best in the business and it's not even close. This is exactly what I said. I didn't like a lot of people. They praise Shakur Stevenson for that performance. This is boxing, the sweet science. I didn't overly praise him. I mean, it was more entertaining, I guess. But you also got hit with a jab and fell into the ropes all crazy. So for me, you would have been better off fighting how you normally fight and let people complain about it. This is why you don't fight for the crowd. You can't worry about what the crowd is doing. Like, Crawford was just fighting Canelo. If the crowd started booing, them Canelo fans, who cares? Just keep working, and that's what Bud did. Bow, he just working. He not worried about the crowd. Shakur was all in his head, and he suffered for it. He's telling you right now from the horse's mouth that his last fight, he ain't never felt that beat up after his fight. And then he's trying to make the jump that these other fights would be easier because these other guys aren't going to throw that many punches. That is not necessarily true. Styles make fights. Like, for example, if you fought Gervonta Davis, his accuracy is way crazier than Zepeda. He don't have to throw 130 punches and land 50 of them. He can hit you with one, and it's going to do more damage than them punches and bunches. And like, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand what Shakur is really talking about. We're just talking boxing. I'm not dissing him. I'm not talking about his family. I'm just talking boxing. You can't just assume that the fight will be easier with these other guys like Teofimo. Teo's smarter, to be honest, and this is not a fight prediction, right? But Teo is a smarter fighter with power than Zepeda. So, again, Teo got better. He's more rhythmic. Zepeda's like rock'em sock'em robot. Come forward. And I told you guys this. I got that fight prediction 100% right. I told you Shakur is not losing to Zepeda. In fact, who the is Zepeda? I never even ranked Zepeda. I don't even know where he came from. His name start coming up and people are like, oh, he could beat Tank and this and that. And then when I seen him fight Tevin Farmer and struggle with him and get dropped and arguably lost, and then he struggled with him again, and Tevin Farmer, I think, was injured, and then Tevin Farmer got knocked out by a black fighter in one round, Floyd Schofield, and then he fought Shakur. That timing was horrible. So that's what I'm saying. Like, people always be like, oh, Tank's resume killing these dudes in or around that weight class. What are we talking about? Teofimo is probably the only person, because he got like a Lomachenko and Josh Taylor, you know what I mean? But as far as like Shakur, who is Zepeda, bro? Like, who was he? You know what I mean? And it's weird because people want to give props like, oh, Shakur beat Zepeda. Like, who was he? He was a guy coming off of two bad performances with Tevin Farmer. And Tevin Farmer also said in the first fight they weren't doing testing and all this weird stuff. It was fishy, but whatever. That's a whole separate subject. And then now Shakur is trying to build up Zepeda. Like, oh, I mean, does he have pop? I mean, he hit you 500 times. I ain't never been that sore. So for me, Shakur's kind of telling on himself. Don't expect Shakur to fight like that again, because these other fighters that have power, like even a Ryan Garcia, because he's going back and forth with Ryan Garcia. Ryan is not like this master boxer. But if Shakur fought Ryan Garcia the way he fought Zepeda, then Ryan could catch him. You have my word. I'm going to say it again. If Shakur didn't fight like he normally fights, and then no Tom and Jerry style fight, and fought Ryan Garcia, because Ryan is bigger, he has pretty good experience now, you know, fighting Tank and Devin and people like, and Oscar Duarte, who's doing well for himself. Bro, Ryan can catch Shakur. Ryan lost to Shakur in the amateurs when Shakur was fighting how he normally fights. So if it's that, then Shakur's on a different level skillfully. But that's why I said I wasn't really like super impressed like some people with the Zepeda performance. Like people are like, oh, it shows Shakur has dog. But who cares about something when you can't sustain it? You know what I mean? Like, who wants to see a fighter like Tim Bradley, like his Provodnikov performance is kind of similar. Not saying it looked like the Shakur Zepeda fight. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, bro, you fought with a chip on your shoulder because you're mad that people said that you didn't beat Pacquiao or whatever, and you fought like a madman, and you almost got knocked out, and you're fighting with a concussion. It's cool. You got through it. You won the fight. I don't suggest doing that again. Same thing with Shakur. It's like you made your night way harder. So for me, I don't care what the fans say. I think ultimately, if your style is hard to beat or penetrate, pause, and it doesn't look pretty, you just do what works for you. But I think Shakur is like a talented fighter, and he's fallen into the turkey, no Tom and Jerry, and then guys like Tank who have exciting styles, and Ryan's fight with Devin was exciting. You know what I mean? And he kind of feels left out, like, I'm a good fighter too. Hey, Demeter, I thought you want to play with my froggy. You know what I mean? And like I always say, I've said this from day one on my channel, you have to be yourself. You have to be you. Whatever your style is, it is what it is. Because again, that's like a big basketball player like Yao Ming trying to play like Allen Iverson. It don't work, bro. Trying to play like Steph Curry. Steph Curry is lean and limber. He can just pull up and then throw it, you know what I mean, in buckets. Allen Iverson, he used to play football. Like, he got crazy stamina up and down the court. You're a big man. You got to play like a big man. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to move up and down the same way these little dudes do. You know what I mean? So it's like, why even try? So, yeah, that's my take on it. But it's surprising that Shakur admitted that was a tough fight and that he was badly sore after it, because now I know for a fact in my world, he going to go back to them performances that he had with Artem Harutyunyan and wait for openings at best. He's not going to fight Teofimo like that, like he didn't have no sense. I mean, he got staggered with a jab. So I wouldn't suggest that. I don't know why he did it outside of pressure, but he's trying to make it like it was strategic. But how is it strategic to look worse than you normally do? Because when you skunk 12-0 or dang near 12-0 some of these guys, and people say it's boring, although it may be boring to them, you still dominated Artem Harutyunyan. You know what I mean? So for me, again, you got to just be you. Let me know what you think. For more boxing news, subscribe. Let me know if you were impressed with Shakur Stevenson versus Zepeda. Give it a school letter grade, A+, A-, B, C, D, F, all that in the comment section. I look forward to reading that. For more boxing news, subscribe. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new, but even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.